Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon bringing you guys a reading today for the Divine Feminine. So this reading is timeless, but we are going to focus a little bit on the buck moon, which is the full moon in Aquarius that starts tomorrow. Full moons are when things come full circle, when we're feeling our emotions at their peak. It doesn't necessarily have to be a negative, but we could be feeling our emotions very powerfully. Now, the full moon in Aquarius is all about how we can make the world a better place. And so in my Divine Feminine readings, what I really like to showcase is ways that Divine Feminines can really heal and ascend and just basically promote overall good health, not only for themselves, but to help inspire other people as well. So it's just good vibrations throughout. So we're going to really be focusing on that today. So anyways, just take the messages as they resonate for you and get rid of anything that doesn't. And I do say her or she for feminine and him and he for masculine. It's just the way that I channel. So just apply the messages as they resonate for you. Everything that I'm using, I'll let you guys know what it is as I shuffle each deck. And today's Organite is called the Buck Organite. Look at that. It's so perfect for the buck moon. So anyways, let's get into it. Now, we are actually going to be following an outline today that is available in my Etsy shop as a reading. So I'll put it down below if you guys are interested in this kind of reading for yourself. But it is called the Goddess/Divine Feminine reading. So we're going to tap into that today. So let's do it. So we're going to see what is the energy right now. What is the opening message from your inner goddess when it comes to the energies that are present right now, whether that's because it's the full moon or however, or whenever you're running across this video. So what is this energy all about? Let's take a look. So let's go ahead and get a goddess. What is your inner goddess? What is the opening message from your inner goddess at this time? This right here is called the Goddess Oracle, Goddess Power Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reed. We have knowledge, Athena. Look at that owl, so beautiful, okay? So that right there is telling me that we are being presented with some sort of knowledge at this time, you know, something to think about. What do we know? Our inner guidance as well, because to me, the owl is about our intuition too. So it's about really going deep down within the wisdom within ourselves. And that's where we are, you know, acquiring this knowledge. All right. So this right here is called Angels, Gods, and Goddesses by Toni Carmine Salerno. Nope. I'm sorry. That's not what this is called. This is called the Gaia Oracle by Toni Carmine Salerno. I get some of his decks mixed up. What's the energy here? Thinking of you, a loving thought, serendipity. Wow. Okay. So just without even going into anything further, what this is telling me, you guys, is that right now, you know, whether you're on your own spiritual journey or a twin flame journey, if you do connect with more of like that twin flame, your divine masculine, this is confirming for you what you know, okay? If some of you guys have a lot of doubt on your journey, and it's not about, you know, you have to feel like this masculine is thinking about you. You've got to know it. You've got to trust it. You have to have faith. It's not necessarily about that, but it's Spirit's way of telling you, why are you doubting yourself? Why are you expending time doubting yourself, trying to figure out whether or not this masculine is thinking about you? Some of you guys might be kind of trying to compare 3D and 5D energies, instead of just trusting how you feel, trusting the higher vibrational energies of the connection, maybe even searching for 3D evidence, such as going on someone's social media, asking someone about your divine masculine. And it is, of course, something that all of us have wanted to do just to get some sort of confirmation that we're either not crazy or that we're not making it up. What happened to just trusting the energy, trusting yourself on this journey? How do we get to a time where we're just constantly looking for confirmation? whether it be through these readings, whether it be through your own readings or readings that you guys watch on social media or whatever the situation might be. What happened to just trusting your own knowledge and what you know and your own journey? So it's like a very deep message coming up from the get-go. And we're being asked during this time to really, really consider what we know versus what we're trying to figure out and confirm with other people. I'm getting here, stop trying to confirm anything and trust yourself. That's the most important thing, okay? So now let's go ahead and get a couple of tarot here. This right here is called the Art of Love Tarot. I think it actually might have been renamed, and it's called something else now, you guys. But it is also by Tony Carmine Salerno and Denise Jarvie. So what is this thinking of you? Just kind of like this knowledge. What is Spirit trying to tell us here? We have the turnaround. So this right here is the Hanged Man's energy, revolution. So it's like seeing things in a whole new perspective, seeing things in a whole new light. That's what the Hanged Man does. The Hanged Man doesn't really have that concrete evidence of things. The trust, the intuition goes within, sees things from a whole different perspective. Maybe even doesn't rely on their human eyes to tell them things that they already know. So we are being asked to kind of pull away from that 3D vision and really trust our inner selves when it comes to our journeys right now. So that right there is huge. So let's now take a look and see what goddess most represents your current energy right now. So your current vibration right now, what is coming up for that? Okay. Your current vibration, what's coming up for that? Okay, so we have, and I'm not really good with all of these names, you guys, so I'm not going to try to butcher them. Caradwin, maybe. Potential. Okay, so what's interesting is that your current vibration and your current energy right now, like there's so much potential that you have. Are you tapping into this potential? You know, are you wasting your potential, etc.? So we're being asked to really consider what we're doing with our time and our energy. Let's go into the wisdom of the oracle now. This is by Colette Baron Reid. Blessed, beautiful. I love this because this is the deal. When we focus on lack, that does lower our vibration. And I've fallen victim to that many times. And it doesn't mean I never will again, because I probably will. It just kind of depends on what's going on with my hormones and mood. That has a lot to do with stuff. But, you know, the thing is, when you sit around and you think about the things that you're grateful for and that you're feeling just really, really blessed, that vibration is so high vibe. That vibration just really bleeds into so many other things in your life. You know, it almost has like a little bit of a contagious effect. When you're in that feeling of just feeling grateful, gratitude for the things that you have, instead of focusing on the lack, it's amazing how that energy seems to multiply. It doesn't mean it's a fix-all for everything. And sometimes we are in a really positive state of mind and challenging things still come our way. I feel that that's life's way of showing us where we might still have some imbalances. And it's not ever about perfection. We're not going to go through this life with this like perfect experience, because if that were the case, we wouldn't be here on planet Earth. It's not about perfection here. It's quite the opposite. But it doesn't have to, we don't have to become a slave to that feeling of just how tough it is. Yes, we can admit it. It's tough being here on this planet. It's tough being a human being. It's tough dealing with other human beings. It's tough dealing with ourselves. But there's so much potential for growth here. And that's why we're here. So we're being asked to just really be in that vibration of gratitude and just feeling blessed to even be here at this time. A lot of people I will hear will talk about how this is just the worst time in the world. You know, it might be one of the most challenging times in the world, but that doesn't have to necessarily be a negative. It's all in the way that we're seeing things. And this is why probably this Hanged Man's energy, When we see things from a different perspective, this is when things are going to really turn around for us. We're almost creating a new revolution on this planet. So if some of you guys identify with being a light worker, you guys have come onto this planet at this time for a reason. You were chosen, or you chose this assignment for this particular reason, to help other people that might be drowning right now in their sorrows, or blame, or shame, or just not taking responsibility, or just not wanting to do the work or heal. You're here to actually help people in these departments, but you're also doing the work yourself. It's kind of like it takes one to know one. You got to go through those trials and tribulations yourself first. So if you found yourself so far like, man, I've gone through a lot of crap. I know I feel that way. I've been through a lot of crap, a lot of stuff. And a lot of these things, I could sit there and focus on them in a negative and say, I'm just done. I'm done with people. I'm done with life. I'm done with everything, because it's been really challenging and really hard. Or I can look at these things and see the potential for major transformation within myself and major growth. And that's the vibration of being blessed. So remember, you guys, this is our current energy. This is available to us all. You know, it's always available to us, the light and the dark. It's up to us what we're going to choose. Some of us can choose to be right there in the middle, which is a beautiful place too. Sometimes it's not always smart to be all light. And I'm not trying to say like we can't be light, but sometimes when the darkness comes in, because this is planet Earth and there is potential for people that are, you know, maybe operating in their dark to cross paths with us. And that could be for a good lesson and a reason for you and for them. I don't know what the heck just happened with the camera here. Hold on. So if we are too busy buzzing around in the light and not paying attention, sometimes we may not be grounded enough to be able to deal with these heavy energies. And I've seen this. I've actually seen this firsthand with people. And I've also witnessed it in huge, like in communities. I don't want to like, you know, famous people, and I'm not going to name drop or anything like that. But I mean, I've seen it. And just from my perspective, that's what I think has happened. It's like way too much light with absolutely no shadow work, no knowing thyself whatsoever, not even doing any of the work of traumas, can lead to an extreme reaction. And I've seen this. So that's why I always really promote on my channel a good balance of light, but also shadow too. It's very important. And somebody actually just made a comment. It was on one of my videos. I wasn't even triggered by it because I understand where they're coming from. And some people don't want to really focus on the shadow aspect of things. And that's totally fine, to each their own. I don't want to say there's a wrong or right way, but my style is very much just kind of trying to be balanced. And I know it might seem to some that sometimes I really focus more on the shadow. And that's just a part of me because I'm passionate. I'm a passionate advocate for recovery, people that have gone through abuse and things like that. So sometimes my readings could have come across, or maybe the content has come across as somewhat dark and shadowy. And some people just aren't into it, and that's totally cool. But somebody asked me, are you okay? You know, I mean, I'm okay as I can be, yes, you know, but I'm human. Everybody is going through stuff. And just because I focus on the shadow doesn't mean that there's actually anything going wrong in my life at that time. I'm bringing things to the collective that I feel guided to bring to the collective. And I think that sometimes spirit uses light workers and people that may have a forum, like a public forum, to go through their own things in order to be inspired to teach about their experiences, etc. So sometimes we got to go through these things ourselves in order to be able to understand it and maybe to be able to help other people along the way. So anyways, that's our current vibration, okay? So even if some of you guys are feeling like that's not my current vibration, it is available to you if you want to look at it in that perspective. That's what my message here is, if I could get to it, right? I tend to go off on a tangent. So let's go ahead and go into the good tarot. Nine of Water. Oh my gosh, the Nine of Cups, you guys. That's like the most cherished card in the entire tarot. It's beautiful. The Nine of Cups is so many things to me. Yes, traditionally people will say this is your wish come true card. This is dreams coming true, your wish coming true, a wish fulfilled. Beautiful, yes, absolutely. But what the Nine of Cups to me, very similar to the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is about being independent financially and, you know, really taking good care of yourself in a physical sense, right? And feeling just really grounded and secure. Nine of Cups is emotions, baby. It's all about just being emotionally intact. Now, it's not about being perfect. It's not about perfection here, but it's about being really, really well-rounded. It's working out your codependency issues. It's working out your insecurities. It's working out your traumas. And some of us will never really have that mastered in this life, and maybe we're not supposed to, but it is about just generally feeling really amazing, like all of your cups are running over. That is a blessed state. That is that high vibration. That's focusing on the cups being half full rather than half empty. So Nine of Cups, not in this card, but usually it shows a man who is sitting there and all of his cups are running over because he is just feeling so amazing. So there is potential for this absolute emotional fulfillment in this life. There is absolutely potential for your dreams to be realized in this life. You are blessed. It's almost like what I'm getting here is this vision. Before you came here, you were blessed by your spirit team to say, this is yours in this life. And you know, you're coming here to Earth and it's, you know, there's a lot of challenges here. There's also free will, okay? Not only do you have free will, but other people have free will, people that you made soul contracts with. They may not honor those contracts, so that's going to create contrast in your life. It's going to perhaps create triggers, traumas, wounds. So we knew it was going to be tough, but this is yours if you want it. This is the whole reason why you're here, is to realize yourself, to realize your dreams in this life. It is yours for the taking if you want it. But can you see it that way? Can you turn your experiences around? Can you, become that phoenix and rise from the ashes? We also have the free will not to turn things around, to continue to plummet into our darkness, to continue to doubt everything that we know, right? So, but this is a loving thought serendipity. Everything is happening to us for a reason. Nothing is an accident. So the thing is what you're thinking. I'm also getting this. So not only is that about your masculine, because that's the first message that came up. This is the second one now that's coming. What you're thinking of, what your vibration is, that high vibration. I mean, it can be dark too. You're attracting that to you serendipitously. You're bringing those vibrations closer and closer to you. So why not have that vibration be Nine of Cups? And that's the vibration that I'm being shown right now that divine feminines are in. We all have the potential for this divine feminines in this life. It's amazing. So no one is exempt from this. Sometimes we feel like, what's wrong with me? Sometimes we feel it's not fair. Sometimes we compare ourselves to other people and say, what do they have that I don't have? We all have the same blessings. It's just different for each person. And it's a different vehicle on how you're going to get there. But it's all the same. We're all connected. And we're all deserving. So now we're going to go into what goddess does your masculine see you in right now, okay? And some feminines want to know that. So that's why we're asking what, and this could also just be how other people see you, but some of you guys may want to know how your masculine, one of your masculines is seeing you at this time. So let's see what goddess energy this masculine sees. We have Bridget, created spark. If some of you guys are creative, and that doesn't mean you have to be like artistic in the sense of drawing or painting or anything like that, but just the way that you do things, the way that you go about your life, the way that you create your life, maybe even the way that you assist or help other people. There's a creative energy. So this masculine sees your spark, sees your light. That is amazing. And other people see that as well. So what else is this energy here? We're going to go into, which one do I have written down? Oh, here we go. Okay. So masculine also sees feminine in this energy too. This right here is called The Angels, Gods, and Goddesses by Tony Carmine Salerno. Oh my gosh, we have Goddess of the Unknown. So to me, this is also about a divine feminine who is not really revealing all of her cards. Maybe she's not speaking to the masculine. That could be for some of you guys. There is like a quiet time right now, or no communication. Maybe this communication is only taking place in a 5D sense, right? But it says the Goddess of the Unknown. The masculine, your mystery to this masculine is what I'm getting with that, okay? But he does feel and see your creative spark. However, you are tapping into your creative supply right now and that creative aspect of yourself, this masculine is really feeling this high vibrational energy from the feminine because she is in that energy. Well, we have Goddess of the Unknown. It says, a new chapter of your life is around the corner. Remove fear and embrace the unknown. Some of you guys, this masculine sees the feminine as somebody who is fearless, somebody who may have just kind of moved forward and started a new chapter in her life. So to me, this is like a very positive way that masculine is seeing feminine. Now, this could also be that that other people are seeing the feminine in this way as well. So let's go ahead and go into this deck, which is called the Psychic Heart Tarot and Oracle cards. And we have the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man comes up 2 times. The Hanged Man is connected to the planet Neptune, which connects to the sign of Pisces. So that could be significant for somebody out there. But this masculine is seeing this feminine. He's observing her. So I always take into consideration what the key word is instead of just the traditional tarot meaning. He's observing the feminine. He's actually looking at the feminine in a whole new way. This masculine could have also like him and the feminine could be or have been in a separation, as in they're just not speaking or talking, or, you know, that's just something that's happened throughout their journey. And it's given this masculine some time to observe her, but also observe himself in a whole new way. You see all this energy that's coming to her crown chakra. This masculine is also telepathically communicating with this feminine and also picking up on her energy. And it's very colorful. That's what I'm seeing here. It's very colorful. And we have all of these different energies. We have green, we have blue, we've got that like a gold, yellow, and then the orange. So to me, there's like a bunch of different chakra energies where they're connecting as well. So I've got the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the sacral chakra, as well as the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus really stands out to me because if this feminine is really in alignment with her life's purpose, her mission, she's creative, she's confident, she's moving through life, she's having a lot of, a lot of courage and strength that she's needed to kind of conjure up in order to move forward and take new risks. This masculine is seeing her in a very, very positive way. So it's not just masculine seeing her like this. Other people see her as someone who is fearless, a force to be reckoned with, but also somebody who knows when to speak and it kind of like less is more. Yeah, I'm seeing that too. So yes, that is what we are seeing right now for this energy. So let's now take a look and see what goddess is lending you strength in battling any current shadows. Let's take a look at that. What goddess is lending the feminine strength in order to deal with any current shadows? We have Yuki Onna. If I'm saying that right, stillness. Yes, check it out, you guys. What is the Hanged Man? The Hanged Man is being still. The Hanged Man means things might be delayed. Things might be suspended in time, but they've been suspended in time for a reason. So there's a good reason for this. So this goddess is representing knowledge to this feminine that your current shadows or anything that you're currently battling right now, if things have seemed to be on hold or not really moving forward, or you just feel like, oh my gosh, something is just taking forever, there's a good reason for it. So trust that, divine feminines. That's what I'm also getting. Trust that energy. We're going to go into these chakra cards here. I think these are called the chakra balancing cards, I believe. What's a chakra that's coming up? confusion. Wow. So this right here, I believe this is one of the higher chakras, this silver chakra. It's like beyond the crown. So this is definitely like a universal energy here. One like more of like a spiritual, higher ascended chakras. I'm not sure which one it is in this particular deck, but any kind of confusion. I do feel like feminine has probably gone through some confusion on her journey. It did come up at the very beginning of the reading, thinking of you. Okay. And kind of like maybe doubting the knowledge, maybe doubting the visions or the energy, maybe trying to see it from physical eyes in a 3D sense rather than trusting the energy of the connection or just what she knows. This may not have anything to do with her masculine, but just in life in general. So when she starts to realize that what she really truly knows and what she's going to rely upon is herself instead of external validation, this lessens the confusion for her. You can see here, the higher self is trying to speak to that person. Spirit guides, angels, the universe is trying to speak to this person. But the clouds represent mental confusion or maybe even just heavy, sad, dark energy, emotions. That's like clouds to me, a very emotional energy. So a lot of the ways that we're feeling do have an effect on how we are seeing our journey, how we're trusting ourselves, you know, how we are feeling basically. And if we're not feeling that great, then we might kind of look at our journey or even just our spiritual experience and just want to throw in the towel. And it doesn't mean that we can't throw in the towel, but if this is a journey that's been really gratifying and helping you and inspiring you, and it's worked for you for, you know, for a period of time, and then all of a sudden you start having doubt, that's normal. That's normal with anything. That's normal with a job. That's normal with parenting. That's normal in any relationship. At some point you are going to have doubt, and some point you're going to question everything. That's totally normal. But the more that you lean in, you know, to yourself, the more that you're going to experience that peace rather than that confusion. The more that you focus on your blessings on this journey, about how things have touched your life and affected your life in a beautiful way, this energy will start to dissipate. So we have to be still and we have to go within. And I think that what this is also saying is that it's a part of the feminine's shadow right now to battle her need to go out and source out information, you know, stalk, look on social media, ask other people, do 10 million tarot card readings in a week about the situation, or get reading after reading. You know, I see this behavior sometimes with some of my clients, and I always check in with them. Like, you know, maybe it's best for us to take a little bit of a break, because I don't think it's good for anybody to chronically tap into their situation. You know what I mean? Because we're not trusting, and we're also not allowing things to unfold. We're not allowing people the free will. I mean, it's not like getting a reading is interrupting with someone's free will, but we're just not allowing things to play out naturally. And sometimes we need to. Sometimes we can really kind of jam up the frequency in energy between us and another person when we're tapping in too frequently, or we have this need to know attitude all the time. You know, well, I'm not going to do this unless I know that this is happening. That's totally unrealistic in life. A lot of things are left up to faith. You just have to have faith. You just have to trust. And if you're not in that energy, you will jam up that frequency. So we are being asked to get still when it comes to the shadow, okay? So let's go ahead and tap into, let's see, which one now? Hold on for just a moment. I just want to make sure I'm not repeating the cards I'm using here. So we're going to go into the Psychic Tarot and Oracle deck. See, look. That's the Hermit's energy, Virgo energy. Okay, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, you guys. Mercury, my Mercury is in Gemini. So Gemini and Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury. What is Mercury? Mercury is a mental, you know, it doesn't mean that's a negative though, but you can take it to a negative place, especially with your need to know everything, fact checking, being over analytical, sometimes that can just completely throw a wrench into this flow. So we definitely are being asked to go within, be still, maybe spend some time on our own, seeking knowledge and answers out on our own. Maybe not getting so many readings, maybe not tapping in so much to, readings. I'm a reader on YouTube, and I'm not trying to say, stop watching my readings or anybody else's, but if it's becoming an issue for you, and I say this because I do hear this, a lot of people can get really caught up in, whatever readings are saying every week, and then things shift and change. These are all very general. If it resonates for you, fantastic, but you shouldn't be basing your life's decisions on any reading, whether it be a personal reading, a card reading that you do, or these readings that you see online. They're guidance only. It's like light guidance. It's for inspirational purposes. This is why I don't do fortune telling. It doesn't mean I don't believe that people can tap into that energy. It's just, to me, if there's free will flying around the universe, then what's the freaking point? It's a waste of time, in my opinion. So I just feel like what this reading here is saying today, it's a part of our shadow to really, really seek less external validation and go within instead for those answers. That's what we're being asked to do. Maybe fly solo for a while on our journey, and that's okay too, because sometimes on our journeys, we go through periods of time where maybe we want to do a bunch of things with our friends and family, or maybe even collaborate with people in a community, or just really be social. And sometimes, especially if you have a lot of traumas and triggers that you have not worked through, sometimes those things can make matters worse, stress you out more. And in a way, maybe you need that because you need to kind of get back with yourself, kind of check with yourself, wow, I really got a lot of work to do still. And that's actually happened to me before too, where I'm just maybe I'm not ready to be social. Maybe I actually am better off just kind of doing my own thing. And then there's other times where I'm like, wow, I'd really like to connect with someone. We go through that, but why are we feeling these things? So this is just telling us, let's get back to the basics. Let's check in with ourselves. Where are we at? Let's get still. If we're feeling confused or all over the place, let's sit in that still state. Also, some of you guys are being asked through shadow work to really, really focus on either meditation or spending some time every single day, whether it's only for 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. Just keeping to yourself, doing your own thing, not just plugging in immediately to social media and all these things that we can do just upon awakening. I mean, this morning, literally, as Mr. Moon is still sleeping, what's the first thing that I do? Because I'm sitting there. Instead of just sitting there and maybe just sitting with my thoughts and maybe doing a little nice visualization or meditation, maybe some affirmations for the day, I immediately picked up my phone and started going through social media. Well, that's my business, so it's not bad that I'm doing that, but it's just man, I'm already in business mode. I didn't take any time for myself today. So it's a practice. It's something like exercise. You got to dedicate yourself to it. It might not come natural. At least it doesn't come natural for me. I'm like a do person, and make sure everybody else is cool. Then I'll take care of myself. So this is a message for me as well, you guys. Okay, so now we're going to go into my Divine Feminine Healing deck and just kind of get some suggestions on self-care, on how we can help ourselves maybe through a shadowy or challenging or difficult time. We have awareness. I am aligned with my purpose. Beautiful. So some of you guys might feel like you're lost. That's kind of what I'm getting to. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know if I have a purpose. I don't know if I have a special talent, but it's not about even needing to have a special talent in order to have a purpose. Sometimes our purpose can seem so minute, but it makes such a huge difference on the planet, or it makes a huge difference in other people's lives. So sometimes what we're thinking a life purpose or mission is, it might not be really aligning with our expectations. So this is another reason to get still and to spend some time on your own, because it will be revealed to you. It doesn't mean that someone else can't reveal it to you. I'm not trying to take that away from people that do that kind of work. But at the end of the day, people can assist you, but you're the one that's really tapping into that life purpose. Not really anyone else. Okay. Some people can give you direction or drop kind of like suggestions, but really that is a personal experience coming into alignment with your purpose. This is the same thing I feel about twin flames. I don't agree with people saying this is your twin flame, especially if someone didn't even ask. To me, that's like the worst thing that somebody can do to another person, because it's just, I don't feel it's their duty or their right really to kind of like place that in someone's hands, especially when that can't really be accurately predicted. So my point is, there's a lot of messages in this reading about consulting yourself for these answers, for any kind of confusion that you're experiencing on your journey right now. Try not to rely so heavy on other people to tell you the way. Really, really build that connection with yourself and with spirit in order to find your way forward, and just take the rest of it with a grain of salt. Take it if it resonates for you. Take it if it is working for you, and don't if it doesn't. Oh my God, really? Oh my gosh, hazy. It says, even though the pathway forward is unclear and I might be confused, I will continue to rely on my higher self to lead the way. Are you freaking kidding me, Spirit? We just said this. So, this is just confirming for us. That is the message here. If you feel confused or hazy on your path, rely on your higher self to lead the way. Try not to rely so heavy on other people. It doesn't mean that you can't ask for opinions or that you can't ask for advice. There's nothing wrong with that, but try not to put all of your eggs into that basket. Try to keep something for yourself. You are your navigator through this life, not other people. Other people can help you and assist you, but at the end of the day, you are your true navigation system. It is naturally built within you. So are you consulting it? Or are you just too busy looking for answers outside of yourself? So you have to ask yourself where you're at on your journey and lean more into yourself instead of leaning towards other people, okay? So let's get one last card on that. Sunny side, beautiful. I will not let past challenges rob me of opportunities to be happy in the future. Yes, it is about looking at the silver lining. It is about looking at the sunnier side of life. And sometimes that's very difficult to do because we've gone through a lot of shit. And sometimes I go through stuff where I'm just like, you know what? I feel so bitter and I feel so full of rage and just darkness that how did I get here when I had such a great day the other day? That's just my body's way as well as my spirit's way of saying and checking in and saying, hey, you still got some work to do, and that's okay. It is a lifelong journey for me. That's just kind of how I look at it. Some days will be better than others, and sometimes when things happen, I'm like, you know what? I didn't react to it the same way as I did in the past. That's ascension. When you're no longer a slave to your insecurities or you're no longer a slave to your triggers. That is ascension. It doesn't mean that these things are just going to poof, disappear, never going to happen. You're never going to deal with an untrustworthy person again. You're never going to deal with a bad person again. Just because you are in a high vibration doesn't mean that all those things are going to disappear. We're here on this planet all sharing the same space. So it's impossible, but whether or not you're going to get sucked in or allow vampires to just feed on your energy or whatever, that's up to you. It's a choice. Okay. So this right here, that was all about our shadows. So this is your goddess's way of really, really helping you to get more aware of your own energy and also to rely on yourself for the answers, for your shadow work and for the things that are coming up for you. All right. So a goddess to inspire you for your healing and self-care. So what goddess wants to come up for healing and self-care right now? Lilith. Woohoo! Lilith is kind of a dark goddess, but the thing is, though, she is a powerful goddess. She is all about being independent and just doing your own thing. And it doesn't mean you can't collaborate or connect with other people, but at the end of the day, maybe just kind of focusing on yourself right now is your best way forward at this time. Okay, Lilith's energy is with you right now. This is like a warrior spirit. This is a person that knows themselves, that trusts themselves, that just does their own thing, and they don't feel insecure because they're not looking at it as they're alone. You know, they realize that there's a difference between loneliness and being alone. Being alone is a choice. And so if you find yourself like, wow, you know, I'm kind of just doing my own thing, I'm not really talking to anybody right now, that is your own independent choice. And it might just be that you're thriving in that energy, or that would be what you're being inspired to do, is to thrive in that energy instead of trying to connect with a bunch of people right now. So that's a beautiful message for a goddess to inspire your self-care and your healing. So let's now go ahead and go into suggested stones for your empowerment and protection. So we're going to go into this deck here, which is called, I'm not sure what this is called. It is called the Archangels and Gemstone Guardian cards. Okay, that one wants to fall out. Actually, there's two, so we'll take them. Oh, look, they're both kind of earthy. Okay, I like this. They're both kind of earthy here. Let's look at this. I don't know how to say either one of them. Look at that. So I'm not gonna, but there you go. There is the, there's the stones there. So you guys can see those clearly, I'm sure. It says, are you aware of everything that is going on around you? It says, take time for some inner reflection. Oh my gosh, again, something about taking some time for you. Improve your ability to notice when people are true to their word. Everything is not always as it seems. Have confidence in your intuitive sight. Whoa. Again, when it comes to trying to figure out where you're at with particular people, or who you can trust or not trust, again, try not to confirm these things with outside sources. Trust yourself. Go with it. How does it feel? I hear so many people confirm for me what they already know through a conversation, but it's like they're looking for someone else to just kind of confirm that as well, so they can trust it. And so some of us have lost that, I guess, faith in ourselves, that actually we already know. You feel it in your gut. You know when something's off. And so we are being asked maybe even to pick up that particular stone that I can't pronounce, but these are very just earthy grounding. This kind of gets you grounded into your intuition. It helps you to feel stable, so that way you can trust your intuition, okay? Lilith is also about you separating yourself from people that don't serve you. If you have been, let's just say, like mentally abused, maybe there's a few narcissists in your life, bullies, people that are always trying to one-up you, are in competition with you, some people that are being passive-aggressive. You know when this is happening. You know it. And you might want to make excuses. Well, maybe they didn't mean it. Or, well, you know, and this isn't to villainize everyone that presents a challenge in your life, but you know what I'm talking about. Whoever's listening to this video, whoever has these types of people or family members, friends, or coworkers in your life, it might be time to just put a nice, healthy boundary up and say, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to just do my own thing. I'm going to just kind of withdraw and go into myself and have a little bit of solitude. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a very empowering thing to do. So we are being asked to do that for our healing and empowerment right now. Andalusite, maybe. I'm just take a little bit of a stab at that. It says, are you in search of a deeper spiritual connection? Go outdoors and communicate with nature. Listen to the messages being communicated to you by the trees, plants, and animals. Spend time in a garden or the woods. Put your attention to your alignment with Mother Earth. So we are being asked to go outside. We're being asked to go within nature, really ground ourselves, and just meditate, maybe even. And it doesn't have to be like you're closing your eyes. Some people don't want to do that, and that's okay. But maybe just look at the trees, turn off all the radios or just anything you got going on your Ring or on your phone, and just really take in what you're listening. And it's amazing all the things that you will hear with birds or insects or just wind and all that stuff. It'll be very soothing for your soul. So these stones could be helpful to you at this time, but also doing these things, rituals for self-care and empowerment and healing, will be very helpful to you. So there is that. All right, so now we are going to go into this closing message, so the very end of this reading. What do we need to know and understand, okay? So let's close it up for Divine Feminine on her journey. What does she need to know and understand right now? What is the energy for her? We have healing. That's a huge message in today's reading, healing. We have that heart energy, right? It says reconnecting with your true nature. Do you see how she's hugging a tree? Oh, she's not hugging a tree, but she's sitting by a tree. Or, wow, standing. I don't know why I can't accurately describe that card. But we are connecting with nature. We're going back to the basics. We're going back to ground zero. We are working on ourselves. We are healing. We are working on our own vibration, because we know that if we're not in tip-top shape, we're not going to be able to move forward in a empowering, positive way when it comes to our mission or our purpose. And that's really important right now, especially at this time on this planet. So if there's anything within you, and for me right now, it's my physical body. I don't have necessarily any kind of health issues or ailments, but I need to lose some weight. And this weight for a long time was about my looks. Like, oh my God, I just want to be able to fit back into my jeans, or I want to be able to feel good about myself. And all those things, yes, are definitely things that will be nice. But this is about my hormones right now. My hormones and all of that extra weight that I have a lot of estrogen buildup in my fat cells right now. And so I did not used to have these same issues when I was, thinner. And so that to me is a motivating factor. So Michelle from Wing and Bell, she has inspired me to want to try something out next week. So I'm going to attempt, probably for the millionth time in the last 10 years, to get a handle on this. But I'm coming from it from a different perspective. I'm coming from it from the perspective of, I really don't want to be a slave to my hormones anymore. I really don't want to suffer from 2 migraines a month that feel like death. So yeah, and I don't want to go into the avenue of hormones, and I don't want to go into being a test lab rat, with my current gyno wanting to do all these different things it's like to my own detriment. Like, well, it might work or it might not work. I don't necessarily want to cope with this through narcotics or medication, because I hate taking medication. I hate doing anything that makes me feel off, but I also naturally feel off in my hormones right now. So I do appreciate whenever I talk about this, a lot of people will give me suggestions when it comes to things that work for them and all those things. And of course, that's really nice and everything. But for me, that's just kind of where I'm at. I'm going to try to address this issue from a diet and a weight perspective right now. And I'm hoping that this will help me to heal. So the only reason I'm bringing that up, you guys, is because if there's something going on with your physical body, and whenever I see grounding energy or earth energy, this also reminds me of our physical body while we're here on this planet. That's important too. It's not just about our spiritual being. And some people will say, well, you're not really the body, but you know what? The thing is, if we're operating in this 3D world and we have some physical things going on, that will have an effect on our spiritual body if we're just not feeling healthy in the physical. So whatever issues we might have, we are being asked to address that and really just try to get on top of these things, because it does make a huge difference. So I will keep you guys posted and updated on my journey. And I'm not going to be one of those, people that's going to be like posting my meals or anything like that. That's my personal assistant, Victoria. That's her journey. She's all about that. She has lost a tremendous amount of weight and has completely transformed her body. And that's amazing, but that's not my kind of content or channel. So anyways, we're going to now go into the Spirit Messages Guidance Oracle deck. Let's see what else we need to know. You guys, really? So, hold on for just a second. Where did I see this word? Where did I see this word? I saw it somewhere in one of the earlier cards. There it is. It's serendipity, synchronicity, same thing to me. Okay, very similar. Are you noticing the signs of synchronicity that the spirit world has been sending to you at this time? People and situations in your life are not just appearing by coincidence. In reality, they're being guided to you from the spirit world to help you for a specific reason. So this is the deal. And I'm going to do a little personal share right now. And I'll kind of try to keep it brief. So sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing really well. I'm not focused on, certain things, and I'm just really doing my own thing and working on myself and just really practicing high vibrational things and stuff like that. And it's not like, oh, just because I'm in this high vibrational state, everything's going to be wonderful, because guess what? It isn't. And sometimes when things happen to me while I'm in that high vibrational state, I can get a little confused and say things such as, I don't understand. I did everything right. Why is this happening to me? Like I literally will get into that state. So I went and picked up food from this Japanese sushi place or whatever. It's like kind of a takeout thing because of the COVID thing or whatever. And so I, you can only pick up food. And Mr. Moon and I have ordered food from this place probably 10, 20 times. Okay. He's always gone in though. Like we place the order, I'll drive, he'll walk in, he gets the food, he walks back out. We've never had an issue. You order online, super easy, great food, all that other stuff. Right. But I just decided that I'm going to just go ahead and come home from where I was at, and I'll pick up the food and I'll bring it home for Mr. Moon. Cause that's just something that we agreed to do that day. And I go in and there's a couple of people that are waiting, and to make a long story short, I end up waiting there for 30 minutes, you guys. And I keep, and anybody that's anybody that is in control of my food, I'm not getting an attitude. In a drive-through restaurant, the only way that I'm actually asserting myself or maybe even freaking out is like when I know I'm not going to be eating that food. Okay. So it took me 30 minutes to get to this point. So I am sitting there and I inquire with the receptionist, who she just had this attitude like she just did not care about anything at all. So from the get-go, I'm already feeling this vibration from her that she could just care less. Maybe she's having a bad day. I don't really know. But she's definitely not there for customer service. She definitely doesn't care the fact that I've been now sitting there for 10 minutes and people, probably like 9 or 10 people, have already come in, pick up their food and leave. And I'm just still sitting there. And they said my order would be ready by 5 and it's now 5:10. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and very politely check in with her. Hey, just checking in with my order, making sure it didn't get forgotten about. And she's like, yeah, I'll look into it. But instead of looking into it, she's continuing to help customers and this and that. So I'm kind of annoyed because I'm just like a huge person on customer service that I would have immediately stopped what I was doing and check on that. But she didn't, whatever. So after a few people come and go and get their freaking food, she finally goes back. And then when she comes back, she tells me, oh, they're working on the edamame. And so I'm kind of like, okay. Deep down inside though, my inner guidance knew that it was BS. I knew from the get-go that it was BS. I knew something was wrong from the get-go. Okay. because that was just my intuition. My higher self knew something was not right. They either forgot my order, or this girl's just trying to placate me and now they're working on it, or whatever the heck is going on here. But the point of the matter is that another 10 minutes goes by. It's now 5:20. So I've been waiting there 20 minutes after my order. And I ask her again, and she tells me they're still working on the edamame. I'm like, that's the soybeans, by the way, is what those are. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'm just like, as I'm sitting there, I'm just like continuing to boil and boil and boil. And so it is now 5:30, you guys, 30 minutes. 20 people have come in and got their food. Everybody else is getting their freaking edamame. Where's mine? So I asked to speak to the manager, and this manager comes over, and of course they're wearing their masks. Okay. So I can't see their expressions or anything. And she's like this really quiet, non-confrontational person. And I basically just say, where is my food? So now I'm like getting like, where is my food? Like, this is crazy. Like, you guys have been telling me that they're making the edamame for 30 minutes. And she actually repeats like a robot, they're making the edamame. And I said, have you physically gone back there to see that they're making my edamame? So at this point, I'm getting irritated. Because you guys keep telling me that they're making edamame, but I've seen several plates, because this is also like a restaurant too, where they have a couple of tables open, but not very many. And I'm seeing plates of edamame come out, bowls of edamame. And I said, so like, why is everybody getting their edamame, but I'm not? Like, I'm not understanding. And then the original girl, who could care less about anybody in life, said, they're still working on, or we're just really busy tonight. And I was like, that's fine. No problem. But I've been waiting for 30 minutes for an order that should have been done at 5 o'clock. Like, I'm just not understanding the process here. I'm not understanding. Like, at one point, do you like put yourself into a customer's shoes and say, wow, like, what can we do? At no point did anyone say that they were sorry. At no point did anybody try to accommodate me while I was waiting. At no point did anyone ever check on me on their own. It was me constantly going back and forth and checking in for myself. I give amazing customer service. At least that's my opinion. I've been in managerial positions my entire life. I know how to deal with, conflict and problem resolution. And maybe there might be a person or two out there that's had a personal issue with me, but that would beg to differ. But I'm talking about from a professional perspective. You know what I mean? Not personal, a professional perspective. And I'm not saying I've been perfect every single time, but I'm going to say 99% of the time I have been on point, and it is all about the customer. So you don't always get what you give. That's the point at the very end of this, you guys. You do not always get what you give. And I've always kind of been raised in the spiritual community that, like, if you're just a good person and, you're love and light, that's going to be reflected back to you. That's, in my opinion, that is not always the case. Okay. So the reason I'm going into this, and if you guys are still with me, if you haven't clicked off already, it says people and situations in your life are not just appearing by coincidence. They're being guided to you from the spirit world to help you for a specific reason. So after I'm basically like trying to kind of reason with these people, they don't care. They don't give a shit at all. After I go into my whole spiel about how I've been in customer service my whole life, I'm just not understanding this. I'm really flabbergasted. I'm now basically going to be without a meal tonight, and there's still just no resolution here. No one's even apologized. You know what the girl actually says to me? This is the supposed manager. Your refund should be ready between 3 and 8 days. That's all she had to say. And so at that point, I realized the old me would have probably, I'm joking when I say this, the real me probably would have wanted to like reach over the counter and start strangling her. I've never done that before, but that was, usually my thought process. Another thought that I had was, oh my God, I'm going to wait for her after work, and I'm going to show her, just all these unrealistic things when you're fuming and pissed off, things that you want to do, things that you will never do, things I've never done. then there was that part of me that was just like, no matter what I do, I cannot control this situation. I cannot change the way that this person thinks or handles life. I cannot change their values. I cannot change what they deem as important or not. There's nothing that I can do to change this situation. All I can do is walk away. And that's what I had to do. I literally felt defeated. I walked to my car and I just bawled. I just bawled because I just felt so disenchanted in life. I just felt like I lost all hope in humankind. I felt like there was not one person left in the world that was going to give good customer service. That we're all doomed. We're going to hell in a handbasket. This generation and all this crap. I feel like an old person right now, but just like thinking in those terms. And then I thought, what does this have to teach me? So I know that was really long-winded, and I know I shared just like some personal experience that maybe some of you guys can identify with or even enjoyed, but this is what I'm talking about. I didn't understand. Why did this happen to me? That doesn't make any sense. I was having a fantastic day. Everything was just so freaking high vibe. How did I run into this roadblock? This like ruined my whole night because I let it. Okay. So I had to go through Carl's Jr. because it was right next door to this freaking sushi place. So Mr. Moon and I had to chomp on burgers, which was fine because, they were those whatever $6 burgers, which are good, but it's not what we had planned. It's not what we wanted. And so we're just like sitting there, we're watching, our just TV, and we're eating our burgers, and I'm just so exhausted. I just feel so like just defeated, right? So this happened, I think it was on Wednesday. Yeah, this happened on Wednesday. Wednesday. So all day yesterday, my brother and my daughter Kayla come over and we have this creative day, and they're asking me how my night was. And I'm like, do I go into it? Do I even have the energy? Kind of like, do I even have the energy? What's the point of going into it now? So I kind of go into it, but what I'm realizing is that I don't have the same irritation when I'm talking about it because I've let it go. I let it go. And so that's a huge thing for me. That's a huge part of my healing, is that I can't let things go. Now, there are certain things in my life, you guys, that I'm still working on letting go. So it's not like, ooh, I'm all healed in that department, that I've let go of everything, because I haven't. There's a couple of little bones I haven't let go of yet that I'm still working on. So it's not about being perfect. But what I'm realizing is that the more and more that things happen to me, and that like a noose are just kind of tying closer and closer and cutting off my circulation to the point where I'm just like freaking out, I'm learning a lot more about myself every single time I am met with this kind of conflict, when I'm met in these situations where you can't control a situation, that you can't change the way that people think or feel. So that situation was brought to me in that fashion to spark this response in me, which is where I'm at right now. You can't control what people are going to think. You can't control what people do. You can only control yourself. And I could sit here and piss and moan and stew in this energy and plot this person's demise. Or I can just basically move on with my life and not take it with me like I've taken so many other things with me throughout the years. So it's not about a destination. It's about the journey, and it's about realizing that everything that's happening to us, whether it's through family members, friends, coworker situations, health situations, whatever it might be, is happening to us for healing purposes and ascension purposes in this life. And when we look at it from that perspective, we don't have to feel like such victims all the time. Okay? So anyways, you guys, whoa, that was the reading for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And as a reminder, I just want to say, if you guys, liked what you saw here today, I would really appreciate it if you're not subscribed already to subscribe to my channel. And if you are already subscribed and you like what you saw, I would really appreciate also a thumbs up, because it does help my channel. That's something that I really didn't focus on before, but it's something that I'm focused on now because things have dramatically shifted with just YouTube. And so in order for me to stay relevant, in order for, you know, maybe other people to get information that could be helpful to them, the likes, the subscribes, all of that helps as well. And also, if you guys want to see my stuff every time I post a video, definitely hit that, notification button. So I never used to say that, but I am starting to say that now. I hope that, you know, you guys don't mind that, but that's just what I am kind of all about right now. You know, you give a lot of energy and it's kind of nice to receive some of that back. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much for, if you did choose to watch this reading all the way through. I do hope it was helpful for you, and I do hope that you enjoyed it. And on Sunday, I will be bringing you guys a reading that has a lot to do with this, I think it's called a retrograde in Chiron or something. I was looking up on that, and there is like this, a lot of shadow or a lot of things that maybe we need to let go and process. So it's going to be more of like working on our issues and our traumas and things like that. So it could feel, maybe it's like a little bit more on the dark side, but it really is to help you guys to heal. And I'm going to be focusing on karmic relationships specifically. So these are people that you might have a karmic contract with, where you're learning something, you've been brought together for a reason. So that's coming up on Sunday if you guys are interested. All right, you guys have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.